Fullmetal Alchemist.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Omocha Reviews. And here today, and we are going to be unboxing two lovely pop-up parade figures of Edward and Alphonse Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
So Fullmetal Alchemist definitely doesn't need an introduction anymore. It's one of the biggest animes out there. But what does need a little explaining is Pop-Up Parade. Now, for those unfamiliar, Pop-Up Parade is a new line by the Good Smile Company, and the Good Smile Company is responsible for really cute figures like Nendroids and Figmas, and all of these have articulation and amazing paint jobs and really well thought out designs, meaning they are a bit on the pricey side. So with Pop-Up Parade, they decided to do something completely different. These are standalone figures, there's no articulation, they still have the signature great paint job that they're known for, but they're really known for value for money prices. So all of the Pop-Up Parade figures are up for 3,900 yen, which would mean around 35 to 36 US dollars. Of course, the price will vary depending on who you buy it from or where you're ordering it from, but otherwise I think it's a pretty sweet deal considering that you get the guarantee of good smile quality in these figures. This is my first time getting Pop-Up Parade figures myself, and I guess when I think of the fact that it is $35, it really comes through with the quality of the box. As you can see, it is literally just thin plastic holding all of this together plus a label. If you like the assurance of a shiny seal to prove the authenticity of your product, you will not find it here. You will only find Good Smile Company's details. Perhaps the most thoughtful part of the packaging is the fact that, well, you do see that the figure is covered in plastic except for the face, which I appreciate. It really is just a plastic box with very minimal branding, which is probably what helped cut down the price. If you are the type that does like to collect the box along with the figure, I don't think you would do that for this, especially considering the fact that there really is no seal of authenticity, which does freak me the hell out. For these figures, I do recommend that you check if the store that you want to buy from is a certified partner of the Good Smile Company. There is a full list on their website. It's a simple Google away. So without further ado, let us open these boys up. It is pretty simple packaging, just tape holding it together, though I do appreciate that they put a nub for Alphonse considering his sheer size, so you can easily just pull it out like so. Ed here is pretty light in comparison, so it doesn't really need that nub. Pull them both out and you see that both figures are pretty much just sandwiched between two pieces of thin plastic to protect them as you transport them in the box. To be fair, these two sheets of plastic are molded together pretty well so that they don't come off really easily even when you remove the tape. But of course, you should still take care when you're opening these. Don't dig your scissors too deep and be sure to unbox while the figure is lying down. Don't be stupid like me.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Okay, so I think we've proven that the figures are pretty sturdy. Open them both up and you notice that each figure comes with its own specific pedestal. Each one is made of relatively clear plastic. You can actually see through it a little bit. It's a bit translucent. Alphonse's is rather elongated compared to Ed's. And that's not the last big difference you'll see between the two figures. If we pull Ed out, he looks amazing. They molded his figure is actually pretty stunning. You can see how detailed they were with how they did his musculature. You can see it with the paint job. Look at that. There is scarring beneath his automail, which I think is a detail that a lesser company would have ignored. The coolest part of this figure easily is the automail, and I think that's the entire reason they decided to make Ed go shirtless, just to show the circuitry, the wiring, and the metal all together. I would have preferred him in his standard red coat, but hey, this is pretty amazing, and it does show off what Good Smile is really good at. Pleasing attention to detail, and of course, a real eye for different textures. You can see that the metal is painted differently, so is the skin. Even his hair is done a little differently. They even did his little cowlick, which is pretty cute. And his pants, I never noticed this in the anime, but it does appear that they made his pants here look leather. They really got the folds of the cloth right. They even got the folds of his leather boots right. It's actually pretty insane if you think about it. I mean, they added the soles of his shoes knowing that it wouldn't be seen once you attach it to the pedestal, like so. Nubs on the shoes are an easy fit against the notches of the pedestal, and as you can see, you can get it completely flat. And I did a little test here to see whether it would actually hold upside down, and it does, pretty reliably too. So again, because this is a pop-up parade figure, there is no articulation, just really badass painting and sculpting. They really just focused on making sure it looks good from every angle. So I mentioned earlier that there is a big difference between Ed and Al, and well, I guess the most obvious is that Al is much bigger, but what is the same is the fact that it looks stunning. Though I will say that Alphonse is way more dynamic in terms of how he is posed. Detail is truly just on point, and when you stand him on the pedestal, he is really sturdy, though you have to work a little harder to get him completely flat on the pedestal. Take a closer look and you will be blown away by these details. All of the spikes are where they're supposed to be. The gloves are a different texture from the metal. You see the detail on Alphonse's face is done right. I'd have preferred like white eyes like in the anime, but this is fine. It's literally a suit of armor. The way they did the waistcloth just adds so much movement to this entire figure. I also appreciate that they also included small details like the symbol on his shoulder. Though I guess one thing to mention here is you'll notice that there's a bit of roughness in the paint. At first I actually thought it was a defect until I saw, I compared it to the quality of the waistcloth, which is like, it's immaculately smooth in comparison. So that said, you can tell this was a very deliberate decision on part of Good Smile. And while it is a stylistic decision that may not jive well with some of the nitpicky collectors, it is one that does make sense in the context of, what Al is made of, which is an old suit of armor that was in their basement the day, that fateful day. Either way, the end result is that, as in the anime, Alphonse does look way more impressive than Ed, and this time it owes not just to his size, but also to the way he's posed so dynamically in comparison. When you put them together, which I think a lot of collectors will do, I do think Good Smile did Ed a little dirty considering how static they made him in comparison. Especially considering that he is the main protagonist of the show.
俺はエドワード・エルリック。こっちが弟のアルフォンス・エルリック。わかる？弟なの。
Fullmetal Alchemist.
But really, that's all just nitpicking. Both figures are amazing alone and together. Really, they're both amazing showings for Pop-Up Parade, considering that everything in this line is, as I said, $35 to $36. So if you're completely new to collecting figures, this is in fact an excellent place to start. So, how are you feeling about Pop-Up Parade figures so far? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please do leave us a like, and if you want to see more, don't forget to hit that notification button. And that's all for today, guys. This is Anne, and until next time, goodbye!